Benvenuti. Questa è our Ladies Room, and it is è una sessione pratica di data visualization. Come sapete, la sessione è registrata e verrà pubblicata sul nostro canale YouTube at our Ladies Room. Se non vuoi essere ripreso, puoi spegnere la tua telecamera. Abbiamo inoltre un code of conduct che ci aspettiamo che tutti i partecipanti rispettino. Lo facciamo per dare priorità alla creazione di uno spazio sicuro e inclusivo, privo di qualsiasi forma di molestia, favorendo un ambiente rispettoso in cui tutti possono imparare e connettersi. Se vuoi fare domande, basta alzare la mano o insomma usare il microfono per intervenire. Ok, il materiale per oggi, in questa sezione io consiglio di usare POSIT Cloud perché non so se tutti hanno Al Studio installato sul computer, quindi ci si può connettere tramite POSIT Cloud a questo indirizzo login.posit.cloud e aprire un nuovo progetto chiamato Dataviz Pratics. Ok, poi inizieremo con un file chiamato example. Io suggerisco di utilizzare un corto file .qmd perché è più facile e pratico vedere il grafico direttamente sulla stessa pagina. Quindi nel frattempo che io faccio la presentazione del gruppo, potete installare i pacchetti, quindi useremo Tidyverse, Gapminder, ggtext, sysfonts, showtext, ggthemes, cowplot, it's a bonus. Quindi puoi mettere tutto quanto all'interno di un vettore C con tutti i pacchetti e poi usare la funzione install packages e il nome del vettore. Ok, così nel frattempo che io finisco la presentazione siamo pronti per iniziare. Quindi ancora benvenuti, questo è praticamente il nostro terzo evento di data visualization per Ladies Room. Io sono Federica Gazzelloni e sono the lead organizer degli eventi di Ladies Room, sono una statistico e un attuario. Se avete domande riguardo eventi futuri, la possibilità di entrare a far parte dell'organizzazione, potete scriverci o contattarmi direttamente nei vari social, eccetera, a rome@arladies.org. Che cos'è R-Ladies? R-Ladies è un'organizzazione con la missione di promuovere il linguaggio di programmazione R nelle varie comunità locali, in particolare per rafforzare il potere della conoscenza nelle donne, per diminuire le disparità e fare networking. La comunità in generale, R-Ladies è nata nel 2012, è stata fondata da Gabriela De Chieros in San Francisco e oggi è un'organizzazione a livello globale con circa 219 gruppi 63 in 63 paesi e 3.943 eventi e più di 93.000 membri. Per maggiori informazioni puoi andare a vedere qui arladies.org. Ok, mentre che cos'è R-Ladies Rome? R-Ladies Rome è uno dei gruppi di R-Ladies Global. Qui organizziamo uno o più eventi al mese in base alle richieste o alle disponibilità degli speakers. Ci teniamo ad avere eventi che siano di utilità per parlare di carriera, statistica, matematica, in particolare come usare R. Se avete idee per un futuro evento potete proporre. Siamo diversi organizers, oggi ci sono solo io, ma ce ne saranno altri insomma, le altre apriranno molto presto. Ok, dunque, benissimo, benvenuti. E quindi questo è, diciamo, finito il primo anno di al Ladies Rome. Abbiamo avuto degli eventi pazzeschi in questi 12 mesi, abbiamo avuto veramente speakers veramente importanti, Giulia Silghi, Mine Sentina Arendelle, Isabella Velasquez, so Cedric, man, I don't want to forget anyone. Non voglio dimenticare nessuno perché sono stati tutti quanti fantastici, e se volete dare un'occhiata a quello che abbiamo fatto lo trovate qui a redis.quarto.pub website talks 2023. News and announcement, ovviamente il vostro supporto è fondamentale. Noi siamo un open source no profit, e siamo qui con Open Collective, ci puoi trovare qui a Open Collective a Ladies Rome, e se vuoi darci una mano, insomma, facciamo dei corsi che sono molto interessanti. Siamo comunque sponsorizzati dal Consortium e the Linux Foundation. Ok, adesso a questo punto spero che abbiate caricato tutti i pacchetti, installati i pacchetti, e siamo pronti per iniziare. Avete domande? Ok, now I switch into English. If you have any questions or difficulties installing the packages, please let me know. Vedo qualcuno nuovo. No, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Dihas. Is that right? You can unmute yourself if you like. And there is Kate Murphy. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, thank you for coming. So this is a practice session of data visualization after the first two sessions we had with Cedric and Carol Thompson. What we are going to do is I'm going to share my screen with okay, stop sharing, and I hope you had the time to install your packages. What I'm going to do is to use POSIT Cloud. Then I'll share my the code with you on our website, so you can then revisit the code. But I'd like you to do it with me. Sì? Ok. Ecco qua. Grazie per aver, thanks for putting things in the chat. And so this is POSIT Cloud, where we have some content here, and I put this in Italian. So this is, I call it our Ladies Rome database practice, so you can do whatever you like. So what we basically like to improve is the use of ggplot2 and various extension packages for making data visualization more appealing. Okay, I suggest you to open up a Word document and collect example. So then you save it in your project as a example. As you can see, this is a project inside, so I suggest you always to open up a project because it's the best way to have all the things in one place. So I think I'm going to delete all this information because we don't need it. Okay, so the first things if you have any question, please interrupt me or raise up your hand. I suppose you have installed all the packages. In this case, we just load the package that we need. In this case, we have tidyverse. We need gg text. We need cis fonts. We need for the fonts, we need show text. We need the data. In this case, we use Gapminder. And then finally, we might want to use a package which is called gg themes, which is very useful because it's one of the packages from the ggplot2 extensions. Okay, are you coding with me? Is that the music too loud? You want me to put down the volume? Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, great. So next step is to use Gapminder. Gapminder, when we do double colon, obviously I do things like Gapminder provide various data sets, but the one we need is Gapminder. We can have a look at the data set. And so we see that we have so I use this data set because we don't need to do much data cleaning and customization of data. We like to focus a bit more on making a visualization. So Gapminder provides country names, continents, years, life expectancy, population, and GDP per capita. So the most interesting visualization that we can make with this data set is life expectancies over GDP per capita. Okay, and in order to do this, we use ggplot, the grammar of graphics, and so we do ggplot. And this is a very so first point to start. Inside the ggplot function, we plug the data, in this case the Gapminder data. If we control enter, we see that we have provided with an empty canvas. Okay, and so then we start populating our visualization, our plot. In this case, we like to, as we like to put the y and the x-axis, and so we do a mapping. So we use the mapping function and set the aesthetics. So in the x-axis, we put the life expectancy. On the y-axis, the GDP per capita. And so we can see that now our plot is a bit more readable, meaning that we now have something on the x and the y-axis, the name of the axis. So we have mapped our plot, and then we start doing a simple scatter plot, a geom point, with a geom point. As we have set the mapping and so the aesthetic inside the ggplot function, it would be enough just to add an empty geom point function. So we can do either way. So we can do this, and so we do Control Enter, and we can see that this is the condition. Maybe that is not actually what we want, because we want to put the, so we want to explain the life expectancy based on the level of the GDP per capita, okay, and not the other way around. So we can see that the life expectancy now is on the y-axis, and it's basically explained by the GDP per capita. Okay, so for based on a certain level of GDP per capita, there is a certain level of life expectancy. And as we can see, we do have just a little discussion about this this graph. We can see that life expectancy is higher. It's higher and has a tendency to grow if the GDP per capita is higher. Okay. But as our Gapminder provide other information, we can even like color these dots by continents. Okay, so in order to do that, we can add the aesthetic of the color inside the geom points. And so we put the continent, and we can see if you Control Enter that now the life expectancy is colored by continent. I like to copy, leave this here, copy and paste, and do this again, but make a little modification. So what if I change the scale of the axis, like using the scale X, and basically apply a transformation both on the Y and the X axis with the logarithms. And so if I do scale Y log, we can see that now our scatter plot assumes a different shape, and it's quite, let's say, a little bit more somehow understandable, the trend. Okay, and what if I add basically if I add the geom smooth, the geom smooth, it's basically if I don't specify what type inside here, fit a model line to these dots, so to this scatterplot, to show us what is the main trend of this data. So we can see that it's a growing trend, and in this case, it has automatically fitted a spline, but we can even specify a method, linear model, for example, to have to see what is the main trend of this data. Okay, so now I stop talking and I'd like you to ask me some questions. If you have any, if you have been able to replicate the things that I'm doing, and if you have any question in general, how to make it different, or suggestions. Okay. So now what we do is basically making this graph even a bit more sophisticated. Okay, so this is the one that we use. Okay, now we avoid specifying the method, while we instead specify the color. So we want a line, a model line, fitted for one for each continent, so that we have an idea what is the main trend for each continent. And at this point, my suggestion is to use all the information inside the main ggplot function, so that all the aesthetics will affect the subsequent levels, layers of the plot. Okay. Then here, as you can see, we now have different model lines for one for each continent. It's better if we get rid of this. This is the confidence interval, so the possible variation of the model line. So we put the standard error here to false, in a way that we can just see the line trends. And then what we can do is to set a different shape for the dots, like shape 21, which is just an empty circle, and then we can put color inside, and then we set the stroke to 0.5, which is the thickness of the circle. Okay, if we do that, we see that now they are just little circles, and they are colored by the continent. Okay, what I did is just setting a shape. I don't need to put this inside an aesthetic, because inside the aesthetic would be just something that is related with our data. So it goes searching for things within the data. While here are general settings. I remove, okay, you cannot use the microphone, is that right? If I remove this function scale log to axis, is this trend line could change. Okay, obviously this is a great question. Obviously, the model line is fitted to the dots, okay? And as we have transformed the dots into with a logarithm, just to spread them out, because the main information is retained, so you are not modifying what is the actual information of your data. It's just spread to be more visible. Okay. While at the very beginning, all scratched on a side. So if we don't do the scale, you can just comment them out and see what's happened. Okay, so if you look closer, you can see that the trend is about the same, so they all growing and having the same increasing and then steady, and then eventually a very large number of GDP, nothing changes, so they like steady down, but you cannot see them clearly. So a little data customization in this case is not changing the data, but just transforming them. And you transforming them in both sides. So for mathematical property, nothing changed to the data. So the information is still there, exactly the same. And so here we can see them more clearly. Are there any other questions? Do you agree with me, or you want to? If I move this function, okay, thank you. So what I like to do now is, instead of coloring by continent, I like to fill this by continent, and then you see what's happened. I then going to put color here, gray, and this will affect the circle. But then the geom smooth, the color of the geom smooth is still is not a feeling aesthetic. It's not feeling, but it does require color. So let's run this first. Okay. Now, as you can see, our dots are filled with color, and the circle is now gray, but all model lines have just one unique color value. Okay, which is taken automatically of blue color for everyone, because we didn't specify any color for the geom smooth. In fact, the ggplot function call just for a fill, not a color. So I need to specify the aesthetic inside the geom smooth at a color continent. And so I'm back on track and have all the information I want. Okay, this is quite nice. I like to add one more thing, like a chord Cartesian. And then a clip equal to off. Okay, this will allow me to add information like piece of text inside the Canva and not being clipped within the axis, okay, of the plot. And then what else I like to do is to set a theme using themes, and I use 538. So we can change the actual background of our plot. So as you can see, we don't have the axis titles anymore. In order to put them back, we use the theme function and axis title, and then it requires an element text. It's enough that you do that, and the titles for the axis are back. Okay, so let me know if you have if you like to if you have any questions, or if you like to make something in particular. This point, I like to, I think I'm going to put it here, and here. I like to change the color with a scale fill manual. Okay, scale fill manual. And so this way I can change the color, and I call the palette. Or if we do like tab inside a function, we can see that we have different options. Or otherwise, something that we can do is to take the function and go to the console, put a question mark, hit enter, and have some extra explanation on the helper pane here. So we can see that our scale fill, in this case manual, require values as a palette. Okay, and there's some like extra information here. We can do values and then specify some colors. Or another interesting things that we can do, for example, is done by using the scale fill, for example, discrete. Oops. Okay. We can see in this case that it does suggest some type of colors. Okay, we can, if you like to use our color brewer, you might need to install the package. I'm not sure because I didn't do that. So you do values and then add this. We have 5 continents. Let's see what changed this way. So as you can see, we now have different colors, and things changed in the legend as well. And so you can use our color brewer, which is a package that provides many different palettes. Okay, so having done that, we do the labs. The labs function allows you to set a title, a subtitle, a caption, and also set the name of the axis. For example, we have GDP on the x-axis. On the y-axis, we have life expectancy. And then we can even change the name of the legend. Now, in this case, we have two legends. We have fill continent, and then we have color continent. So we cannot see that we are using two legends. But if I change here, for example, color, and I put this like continent with a capital letter, we can see that now we have two legends. Okay, so we don't need to, and there are different ways to do that. One way is to use a function guides, okay, the guides, and the guides you can do for both, for any aesthetics. In this case, we don't want the fill, the guides of the fill, so we put this to none. And so we now have one only legend. Another interesting thing that we can do is that we can change these things in the decay of the legend, decay shape, the shape of decay of the legend. And to do that, there is a nice K function. Okay, this one here. And so we can add, for example, this element, this option for changing the K elements of the legend. Obviously, we are changing it in the geom smooth, okay, in the color content. And so we can put it here. Take glimpse as a time series, for example, and then you have something different. You can change it, you can make it bigger dots, squares, or you can put images, whatever you like. Do you have any question to me? Okay, so our title can be like global life expectancy explained by GDP per capita, a continent view, or by continent. Okay, now this and then we use the caption, and we can say our ladies Rome data visualization practice session Gapminder data. Okay, if I go too fast, please. Okay, there is something in the chat. I have it wrong value. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, the color bluer values is missing. Will not default. Okay, so you just fix it. Good. So let's see now. Let's go a bit slowly. this is a quite long title, and it can be annoying. It's output. Okay, so like, okay, in this case, it's all inside, but we can wrap it differently. For example, if we specify, if we go as Cara shown in her talk, and what do you do is to, what you want to do in case is going to our website and do talks 2003, and here you have all the talks, okay, the latest talks. If you want to have a look at Cara Thompson information, we have all the her talk here, and then her presentation, okay, which is here. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. And so as you can see, she's shown us few interesting things, but in particular, something that I like to use is this customization for the title. Yeah. Okay. We have these things here, and then she uses GG text. Okay, for example, for the subtitle, okay, we are going to use this for the title. So she uses GG text, element text box simple, and set a size. Okay, so we can copy this, going back to, and put this inside here, the theme function, as she's shown. This is inside the theme function. So we can put this, the plot, title, and then just use this. Okay, so if we run this again, nothing changes, because most probably because I didn't specify. This is not okay, let's I'm not sure, maybe because this is okay. Put this in here. Okay. This is basically wrapping the title by itself without thinking about setting a tab point somewhere within the long text. Okay, so this is basically some of the information that we had from our speakers. But one more interesting things that we can do is basically deciding for a different font. And so what if we use sys fonts and then add a Google font? Then if we head over Google, just type, let's do it again, Google Fonts. Okay, so we have Google Fonts. Then here, without installing anything, doing anything at all, we have a series of fonts and things that we can use, okay? So let's see that we want to use this one here. We copy the name of the font, and then going back to our POSIX Cloud, we add this twice because the first one is the real name of the font, and the other one is the way you want to call it. Basically, I call it the same. And then I need to use show text. Oops. I need to use show text package, show text auto, and then again show text options, and I need to specify the resolution in pixel, which is 320, which is the best way to use this. Okay, let's run this the first line, because sometimes if you haven't specified, if you use an old version, if you don't have the graphics all good in your computer, this might not work. So you hit enter and wait to see if it goes well. So apparently the font has been accepted by our system, and then we run the show text auto and we set the options. Now we have our new font, and we specify the font inside our 538 as a base family. And then what's happened? Let's put this back. Okay. What's happened if we run these things? Okay, as you can see, now things changed. Okay, now we have a different font, and this font is quite big. So as we have specified this base size, we need to customize this a bit. And again, this is the caption, as you can see. So that is absolutely nice to have it smaller. And so we can specify this by plot caption inside the theme function element text, and we specify the size like 9 something. And so even the smaller, this should replace. Okay. And so even the axes are too big and everything, but this is what we like to see. I also specify here message false and warning. False, to do not have that information on top of my plot. And so this is what you can see. Now we don't need a name of the continent, and so we don't collect anything. And we have this specified like that. What else we can do is basically reducing the axis. Oh no, the axis title, which is here, to 5. And so now it's a bit more like customized. So there are many other things that can be done. And what I like to finally show you is a way to save your plot. So now I'm not doing the things like going to the global option and graphics and set to AGG, but I leave it to Cairo PNG for the minute because I like to use GG save as a function. So I use GG save. I call it this life expectancy GDP.png. What we need to specify is just have a look at how it looks, basically. So we run this as is, and we have the image here. Now, I'm not sure if you, let me know if you can see when I open it, because I didn't share. But if I stop sharing and then share my entire desktop. Okay. Can you see? So as you can see, this one went a bit over. Yeah. And so I'm really sorry if I'm talking in English, but we expected many more Italians today, so at the majority it's English speaker. So the session at the end is went in English, entirely in English. What we can do here is adding that space around the title, so we can have more things, more space. And again, you can find all the information here. You can add, for example, there is this, you can customize vertical adjustments or horizontal adjustments. You can specify a margin, okay? So if we add a margin inside the text box, oops. Inside the text box, okay, in text box, and then if we add the margin, okay, now you can see that there is a little bit more space. Then if we run this again and have a look at the output, we can see that things change. Okay, hello everyone. What else? So this, I think, it's an hour. We reached the top of the hour. I don't know if you have questions, but there is much more to do. And if you have a look to Cedric presentation, which is still, you can start from our website and then head over his presentation. Here he shows different things, how to make wonderful plots, as well as for the Gapminder data, for example. There's many things that can be done, such as using densities, GG density plots, dots, and other ggplot2 extension packages. And so I think I'll stop sharing. I'd like you to ask me question or show me what you did it. If you like to share your screen, let me know. Okay, let me know what error, what type of errors you had. Incomplete expression. There is this K glimp. The K glimp is there is a plus after it. So you need to put it inside. I show you the code. You need to put it inside. Yeah. So this is the code. And where it was the K glimpse, you had a plus after it. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for yeah. Work great. Thank you very much for joining us today. Hope the session has been helpful. Thank you for coming. So this session is recorded, so you will be advised about when the recording will be posted on YouTube. And there is a GitHub repo with this code, okay, that you will find very soon. So if you don't have any other questions, I hope to see you again on one of our next events. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Bye. Bye-bye.